Synchronicity University has an incredible jam-packed March season coming up. And for a very limited time, you can choose your tuition rate, 5-week courses with me. I'm finally back after 2 years away. And Zamboni Funk and Celeste Brooks. You add to this an incredible speaker series, which includes superstar astrologer Maurice Fernandez. Well, you can see here that there's so much to look forward to and even more. Choose your tuition rate on now at synchronicityuniversity.com. Links are in the description below. Hello, fabulous superstar Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of February 2024. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. Boy, is this a very special time. It is going to be on the 9th of the month that we will have this month's new moon. And this new moon takes place in a part of the sky that your sign has a natural affinity for. It has to do with your daily life. This revolves around your work life, how you move through the world in your smaller moments, your habits, your rituals. That includes your health-related habits and rituals as well. This part of the sky also revolves around pets. It is a new moon, so it's about the new coming in, and this new moon is like really hyping up the new energy because it is square Uranus. So there are set to be new beginnings here, but they are going to feel like they come out of nowhere. They may be challenging to you in some way, but you get to decide whether or not you want to engage the challenge. And I say that they're challenging mainly because we have planets moving into this part of the sky, and as they do, they will immediately meet Pluto in the sky. And that represents big moments of truth and turning point moments as well. It's honesty that reaches deep within you, that is profound, that shows you how things actually are and whether or not you're up for it. On the 5th, it is Mercury moving into this part of the sky. On the 13th, it's Mars. On the 16th, it's Venus. And you can see how more and more of you, especially your ruling planet on the 5th, moving into this part of the sky, is meant to help awaken an understanding of the truth, and a truth that may not necessarily be easy, but it's there. Now, if it is that this energy is showing up in terms of your workspace and work life, clients, customers, coworkers, this could be where, especially with the Plutonian energy being activated, you may feel that there's some dramatic tendencies, power struggles, power games playing out there. But it is, of course, that new moon that can bring dramatic change very quickly and can bring new people into your work environment as well. It could be new assignments that challenge you profoundly. They come in by surprise, but you will figure out whether or not you're up for what's changing. Now, where it comes to how well you're taking care of you, this is about recognizing the necessity for new habits. Maybe new medications is part of the mix as well. And so you get to look at what answers are right for you, what answers are going to be uniquely your own, and how it is that you want to engage this energy. Is it that you want to engage this energy on a level of listening, which I suggest, to your life, listening to some changes within you? Perhaps you need nutritionally something a little bit different and you can feel it within. It's also possible here that your eating habits go through some change very quickly as well. Regardless, there's going to be some need for balance because a lot of these energies are quite extreme. That's the thing with Pluto. But it can also be a time of sheer empowerment. As you look at what you can do, what you can change so that you can feel better within yourself and feel an overall improvement of well-being. Now, navigating forward, we hit the sweet spot for you. This is huge. On the 24th, the full moon is in your sign. So normally you get one full moon per sign per year. It is a moment of emotional truth, emotional honesty, feeling as if you're finally able to understand and accept what it is that you really feel around a matter deeply important to you. When we have a full moon in your sign, it does bring a focus to matters of identity and priorities. This full moon is speaking in supreme harmony with Jupiter. I love that energy for you. There's happiness. There is a sense of adventure. There's a sense of your world feeling more expansive. And it is deeply meaningful to you. It is changing you in key ways. However, we also have Saturn and Mercury across the sky from this full moon. And what that suggests is there might be the feelings or needs of another person, a partner in your life, that you're having to take into consideration in some way. A one-on-one alliance. That could be professional. That could be personal as well, though I'll talk about that in just a little bit when we look at love. But it is now that you're considering the opinions, the feedback, or how it is that what you are considering might affect another person. And it is speaking to what you feel is possible. If there's a sense of limitation or maybe responsibility, you're able to see it and acknowledge it and figure out how you're going to work with it, especially at this time. For all that, though, it could just be another person as a sounding board. You're all gung-ho about a particular idea, and they're saying, hey, you might want to pay attention to this and this and this. And it's up to you to decide how much and if you're going to engage it. An important moment this month happens on the 19th of February, and this is when Chiron will meet the North Node in the sky, a rare meeting for sure. Whenever a big planet, especially like Chiron, meets the North Node, it is as if a doorway opens from which new people, places, things, situations can enter, which represent karmic blessings. And Chiron represents healing people and energies or experiences and people that have you feeling exposed or vulnerable in some way. Now, for you, this part of the sky has to do with profound change and truth and transformation and regeneration. And it also has to do with access to resources, financial resources in particular, things like loans and grants and benefits you qualify for. And so, yes, pursuing sources of funding may have you feeling vulnerable, but Chiron meeting the North Node is a very powerful symbol for feeling as if new options are able to open up for you in some way. And more personally, this can be a big leap forward in your own healing, allowing you to feel changed in some way, transformed in some way. Because of the vulnerability aspect to it, it might be a time of psychological honesty with yourself, even if it's hard, but that may be the healing work of this time. With Chiron, you kind of know where it is you have to go, what it is that you have to do, and where it is that it feels right. Well, a lot comes together to make the challenges absolutely worth it. Now, where it comes to matters of love, let's go back to the full moon in your sign. And I want to talk about how, especially considering its opposite Saturn and Mercury, that is going to be a very important dynamic in the context of love. Right now is an important time to focus on you. It is going to be, once we step into next month, we'll have a new moon in your opposite sign. And when there is important activity in your opposite sign, someone is there to help you to understand where you are in love and how you feel about it. But for all that, and I'll be here to talk about it when we get there, focusing in on this month, where are you in your understanding of self and what you really want in your heart of hearts? What you really want in terms of what's closest to you, and how does another person factor in? For those of you open to meeting someone new, I can't help but think that there's a strong desire here to want a meaningful connection with another person. And you might actually have interactions with others, but in some way, it may feel like it makes you more aware of your desire for love and for meaningful emotional connection. But of course, you can't rush that process. You get there when you get there over the course of a period of time. But for all that, There's a sense here of coming back to yourself and your truth with what has been in the past in love and where you are today and how that is speaking to new people you might be interacting with. And from there, you get to look at the sacrifices you've made before, whether they were worth it, and how now you want to do things differently, navigating forward from here. So there's like a decision moment turning point of self-honesty, but also figuring out the best approach to meeting new people for you. For those of you just starting to date someone, I feel like this is a moment of truth for you within yourself. How do you really feel? What are your emotional needs and whether or not you feel they can be met with this person? I think you're also getting honest with yourself about whether or not this person is for you in the context of relationship, if you really want that with them and how you really feel around that. And so this moment of honesty within yourself and what's stirring within you, keep the focus there. It's not about this other person. It's not about what they feel. It truly is about you, what you are needing, what you are wanting. That's where the power is now, but that's also where the illumination is as well. And as you get honest with yourself, I think some of your answers, as you're starkly honest with you, may surprise you. But ultimately, they are your own. And you get to decide whether or not this is someone worth navigating forward with. Seeing the compromises, the sacrifices that would actually have to happen if it is that you're going to move forward in relationship with this person. And for those of you in an established bond, well, it really is about the full moon in your sign, yes, opposite Saturn. Your partner may have certain needs, certain requirements. You might feel responsible in some way. And then there's you and who you are and what you're really wanting. And there may be a need to balance the two. And so when it is that you're in a partnership, it is a team, right? The two of you are working together as a team. And if it is that it doesn't feel that way, the pain of that is going to feel like it comes right to the surface. But if it is that way, well, you'll be considering your partner's needs very strongly now and your own, and looking at where some of your partner's needs might feel like a sacrifice to you in some way. And yet it's about you being honest about what sacrifices you are willing to make, how strong the alliance you truly feel that you actually have. Now, if you're in the right relationship for you, you're willing to do that inner work and you do it together and it strengthens the bond, deepens the commitment. But where it is that you have felt for a while that maybe you're not in the right relationship for you, that sacrifice is going to feel really big. You're going to feel it very deeply into your core. And there's enough faith-oriented energy here that does suggest that if you have felt like going in a different direction, you just might find the faith to do just that. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. I'm going to say the full moon in your sign. I think that is the star of the show. It is speaking to you and who you know yourself to be, what matters to you most and first. It is right on the surface now. A powerful and important moment for you of emotional honesty, perhaps an honesty that's been there all along. It's just now you're ready to look at it. And as you do, it may be evoked or that truth might come forward through an uncomfortable interaction with another person, but it's almost like it's needed at this time to help you to get honest about who you really are, and what you really need. And from there, and that truth, you're already on your way to getting it. Thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month. Would choose your membership rate at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.